But how do we go from this to this? And it's important. This is 40 years. A lot has happened, which I'll talk about. But if you go back, any movie back in the 40 years ago, the doctors were the great guys. And I'm not saying we have doctors in the room today. I admire every one of you in the room. But it's not that they're not today, but there was a different perception. The doctors were always the good guys, but now we have a doctor like House who's a great doctor, but he's fallible, as we all are. So there's a perception, and that's a lot to do with how our perception of our doctors is today, and sometimes how they're feeling. And why are we heading to this? Multicultural, multinational workforce. When I started in this business, 12 males to every female doctor. Now it's about 4 to 1. In fact, I always use the 666 rule. Not the 666 rule is not good. The 6666. And it's 60% of the women you see now on the news, they're at political rallies, 60% of them are women. 60% of our medical students going into medical school are female. And then by 2020, 60% of our doctors in America will be female. So it's changing. It's also multicultural, multinational. We have 29% of our doctors in America now are international medical graduates. Highest number it's ever been. In fact, I always like to tell the story. I used to be on the sales side of this business, and about 10 years ago, when there was a different interpretation of our international medical graduates, a gentleman called me from Lafayette, Louisiana, and said, "I'm a doctor, I get your stupid letters all the time." And I said, okay, I'm sorry. What can I do for you? He said, "Well, I'm an internist." He said, "And I want to recruit an internist." I said, "Okay." And I know you guys are all serious at work, but I thought somebody was goofing around with me at work. And it's a true story. And I took the phone call and I said, "Tell me about this doctor you want to recruit." He said, "Well, internist, I'm willing to go $120,000. And even back then, it was very low. So I started laughing, but it wasn't. I thought, well, maybe this is something I'm just not getting. But then I kept going. I said, "Where do you expect me to find this doctor?" And he goes, "Well, I'd like him from either LSU or Tulane Medical School." So I started laughing even more. I said, "This has got to be a setup." It's not. It was a true conversation. And I said, "Okay, where do you expect me to source this doctor?" And he gave me like 10 area codes to call. And I was like, okay, this is serious. So then I thought, okay, I'll give this guy the coup de grace of all marketing questions when you're in the recruitment world. I said, "Doctor, we found somebody that met all your criteria, willing to work with that salary, willing to practice in Lafayette." I said, "Would you look at an international medical graduate?" There was a pause on the phone. He said, "Sure." He said, "I'll look at somebody from Texas." So love the story. But again, back then, even people thought it was so easy to recruit, and it's not. We could find somebody with that criteria, that whole package. So